Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Tuesday, January 11th, 2013. Alright, looking at the calendar for announcements today, looks pretty slim. Nothing really exciting there. So therefore, we can just jump right over to our pre-market view. And we're looking at a down open at the moment, which is going to be a good thing for our Amazon trade, I believe. Here, we'll take a peek at that later. Everything's looking down about 0.5% or so. Gold is down 1%. That's a little bit unusual. And oil is still above that 95 mark. A little disappointing there too from a gas perspective. I expect the prices though at the pump to go down since I'm not planning any trips in the near future. You know how the industry picks on me whenever I want to take a trip. Anyway, alright, let's take a peek at how we're sitting right now. This Amazon Iron Condor is a little bit troubling. We're getting closer to expiration. I would like to see a delta a little bit closer to the 0 mark than what this is at right now, but still I think that we're in pretty good shape. We'll take a peek at the Analyze tab, and let's look. This morning we have 200 shares that have traded. Closed yesterday at 281, and those shares traded between 277 and 280 is the bid ask right now. So it looks like a gap down a little bit on Amazon this morning. Probably most everything else, looking at where the indexes are right now, that it's going to be a slightly down open. Excuse me. CF, we're sitting okay. Where are we as far as percent? Okay, we're just, we're looking at $251 and we're at 117 right now. These are June expiration. The chart looks a lot like this. Excuse me again, as a matter of fact, it looks exactly like this. And what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and tweak this out so we can see the next expiration. Just because yesterday we did some Julys. And CF, we have a bear call on this particular one, and there is our break even up here at 205. And it's looking pretty good right now. Next in line is Chipotle. Chipotle is one that we entered yesterday. We got a alert triggered on that. When was that? Got an alert on Baidu. Chipotle triggered at 9:35 in the morning, and we waited a little while to get into that one. I'll just show you here. Let's see here. Let's go 2 days. And turn it to a blank. And here we have Chipotle. We did a 350, 345 bull put on that. That was at 11:19 in the morning. I put a limit order. I was looking for $1.45 on that, and it hit the limit at that time. If we were to take a look at a chart, it gapped up at the open, and I was patient enough, and we got in on this candle here. probably somewhere along here when this dipped down. So I was waiting to get a good price on that. The delta on that was a little bit tighter than normal because I was pretty confident that that was going to be a successful trade. So I picked the delta a little bit above 20. Right now that delta is at 34. I believe yesterday it was around 30. So we did have a little bit of a pullback yesterday, which pumped this delta up. And when I say up, I mean just, up from 20. Whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't really matter. But it's always negative on these trades. So yes, our 350 was a 30 yesterday. Or actually, I think it might have been about a 29 or so. But probably by the time we got in the trade, it was probably closer to 30 and moved to 34 towards the end of the day as the price pulled back a little bit. But we are below this previous low, I guess you could say, where it came down, and the 50-day moving average on a daily chart acted as a point of support, and then it moved back up. So, we got some good mix of indicators here. We have a bounce off the 50. We have the stochastic coming up from under 20. The MACD short term moving up, and the long term also moving up. And, excuse me again, on the weekly chart, we have a confirmation on the stochastic here as well. A little bit of weakness here on the MACD on the weekly, but we'll see if this plays out or not. We had a lot of, let's see here, a bounce here, up here, up here, up here, so that's like 4, 5 positives out of a possible 7 or 8 if we were to look at it that way. So that's a pretty good probability on that particular trade. Back to our current positions. Gold is doing well, Google's doing well, and Goldman Sachs we also entered yesterday. I put a limit order in on that on 72 cents, and that triggered. So we are in Goldman Sachs right now, and that one is looking really strong. There was no 160 was just a little bit too much of a stretch for me. So I know I like to get as close to $1 as possible on these, and this particular one was not able to do that, to get even close to it. The next short strike would have been 160, and that just would have been kind of pushing it from my perspective. So again, on that one we have a lot of positives, a little bit of a dip below the 7 period moving average, and then it moved back above it again. The 50's moving up, stochastic hooks up, didn't quite get %D below the 20, but %K did kiss it, which is good enough. And we have MACD short term and long term both moving up, and on the weekly chart everything moving up except for the short term here has got a little bit of a hook down, but if it keeps moving today in the current direction, then we should be looking pretty good. Everything else, I'm not going to touch anything else right now. We're looking fairly good. We're down another, we picked up 0.3% to the downside just while I was talking. So look for a gap down this morning, and we'll see if that continues or not. Now I am going to not do a scan today, just because of this pullback here, and there may be, if we were to take a look at ES here on a chart, okay, this is interesting because the stochastic came up here, crossed the 80, and now it's hooking back down. We may end up with another pattern that looks a lot like this one here. We shall see. It's been this, this is a pretty strong move here. I think that what we should look at more, focus a bit more on, is the weekly here. This is where that futures contract is, at the 1550 level. Yeah, looking a little weak on the ES right now. The MACD has moved below the zero line, and look at this. I mean, this is really strong, this moving average up here at 28. We have two consecutive weeks of a movement down on the MACD. We had it back here as well, but this one looks a lot more convincing to me than this one here. So there may be some momentum to the downside coming up here, and that's when our insurance policy here, or our hedge, is going to kick in for us. And remember, these Russell calendars, double calendars, are July-August expiration. Just for fun, let's go and take a look at them. So we've been, these peaks have been hanging around the 3,000 level, and they should, I mean, they're almost right at 3,000 now. 2960 on this one approximately, and 29 something here. I saw something higher than that. 2926, 2972. So look for those to move up a little bit as price starts to come down here, if it continues its current course, of course. And we're not seeing today's activity yet on that. So if we were to look at the futures for the Russell, we're down 1%, and 1% here would be 1%, that would be down 9. Is that right? Yeah. 1% of 992. 10% is 99. So we're looking at a 10-point drop. So down here to 3. Yeah, it's too hard here. I would have to stretch this out quite a bit. So this is at 992, so if we went to 9, we could do it up here. Let's do it up here. 982. So we could look for possibly a bump up today of another $167 on that. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the open should be right around here, and we'll see what happens the rest of the day. Okay, I think that's it. Like I said, I'm not going to do a scan. I'm invested enough. I'm going to sit back and observe today. The Amazon alert also triggered yesterday. I thought I'd just bring that up. And I put an order in for 90 cents, and I did not get it. So let's just take a look at the chart on Amazon right quick, and then that'll be it for today. Yeah, it went up, and it didn't really pull back as much as most everything else did. Came very close to my alert here on the Iron Condor. So again, we're looking for a little gap down at the open here on Amazon, and we'll see how things play out for today. Alright, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.